Elevated Grapes Podcast.
Elevated Grapes Podcast.
With your host, Sethi.
Your host, Sethi.
And Stylist Rashi Bindra.
It's time to get started.
Let's talk fashion, shall we? All right, so welcome to another episode of the Elevated Grapes Podcast. I am your host, Sethi, and the lady over here is...
Your Stylist Rashi Bindra.
When did you become your stylist? I thought it was just stylist.
Yeah, Stylist Rashi Bindra.
Yeah, you added the your in.
Well, you said this lady, so I meant for them.
Okay. I thought you were just trying to steal part of my name.
No, your name you keep with you.
Yeah. No, that's what I was
mine.
thinking. Yeah, you keep yours separate.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mine's super cool.
So get rid of the your, because that's mine. Anyway.
Oh dear God.
So we want to first thank you for tuning in. We've had some great feedback. The downloads and the listens on our streams are starting to really pick up, which is nice. There's a whole bunch of repeat subscribers, so that's really nice to see as well too. So thank you for everyone that's been listening and following along, and your input's always valuable to us. So let us know if there's anything you like, you don't like, things you want to hear different, things you want us to do different, any topics you want us to discuss, any guests that you think we should try to get onto the show, and we'll do our best to do that. But just a thank you from our team for joining in and listening. It was a fun July. We had some really cool guests.
It was a crazy July. I think we had guests all throughout. All our four podcasts were all guests.
We had guests on all of them. We had Cassandra, we had Janice, we had Cassius. Shafiq was a great guest as well.
We had Paul.
Paul was an amazing guest as well, just from the corporate styling perspective.
We had a lot of wine in our
yeah. It was really nice because it was quite a broad range of topics. And I think that's what we truly want to bring. I mean, there's a focus on men's styling, but the fact that we're able to get into some fashion industry type of conversations, how to sort of grow in that business and the reach globally. Fashion globally was a great conversation that we had with Janice, because she has that cool perspective.
Yeah, that was very fun.
Yeah, and talking with Mr. Kaizen and his thoughts on basically should be wearing a suit all the time. So I'm just,
clothes with. No holes in your clothes. Period.
No holes in your clothes.
There's never an occasion for that.
I'm totally disappointing him right now because I'm not wearing a suit. I went totally casual, but it has to do with the theme of our topic.
That's today, also very, very true.
Which we're gonna
very different.
Get into in a minute, and I'm trying to keep with the theme as much as I can. So yeah, some really, really great guests. Cassandra's, I liked her podcast topic just because we got a chance to actually touch on fashion from a gender neutral perspective. I know it's a whole line, but we had a bit of conversation just outside of the things that both genders can wear. And I think in this day and age, I mean, there's a lot of crossover in fashion. Yep. So that was really cool to get that vibe from her. And really cool too. So you can check out shopcassandraelizabeth.com. Yeah. Yeah,
and her store's opening this month. And
that's right.
And apparently Elevated Grapes is supposed to be there, so we still have to work that out.
We're apparently the fashion correspondent for that. So yeah, so really, really awesome guests. We will continue to have some more guests lined up for you like that, and bring on different topics and different types of conversations. The focus is always going to be men's styling, I think, but
always.
The good thing is that we're able to touch on different areas of the industry, and that's really important too.
I think even if we are talking about men's fashion, what is very, very important is that the industry itself is growing so much, and even any perspective actually can influence a guy, the way he wants to dress and the way he wants to carry himself. And sometimes even just thinking outside the box, you end up feeling so much better about yourself. You end up dressing better automatically, right? So I feel like everything is eventually linked. So that was really cool about July, is that not every topic was how to wear shorts and don't wear swim trunks. It was just really this is what's happening. This is how it translates into men's fashion. And now here we are.
The other really cool thing, just touching back on the gender neutral clothing, is that there's so much crossover within the types of fashion that a guy and a girl can wear, and really if a guy were to wear one the shorts that she had as an example that we used on one of our models, as a guy you can rock it totally differently than how a female would rock it, but it works in both wardrobes.
Speaking of that, even the past years, like some of my favorite outfits were like men's joggers. I used to love like wearing that. Even like some of the shirts and whatever. And it's not about trying to be tomboyish or anything like that. It's just the way it's comfortable, the way it styles, and the fact that you just don't care and it looks like good on you as well, right?
Well, it was 2016 or 17 when a lot of stores started to just adopt and build men's style baggier joggers for women, because that look that was going around, right, with the joggers and the Uggs and that sort of thing. So
joggers and Uggs?
Yeah, you never seen that? Oh my god.
Okay, I'm not blind.
But it picked up for quite a bit, and then so a lot of the stores recognized that, and retailers started to build men's style of joggers specifically for females. And they'd have like writing specifically on it that was more geared to females and that sort of thing. So even as a retailer, picking up on those trends and understanding what people are wearing and how they're wearing them, and that's why a lot of these items can be cross gender, and different folks can wear them again in so many different ways that they probably weren't originally intended to.
Yeah, and then that's how you got the boyfriend blazer. That's how you got like the boyfriend jeans even, and that whole idea of like just like even like rolling up your jeans and walking around, like that actually got inspired by like men's fashion.
Yes.
For women, right? Something I'm very guilty of doing during the entire summer. But,
well, the guys, even like a lot of women now, like even just they're in the office where like they'll have like retailers will start to build the men's style of dress shirt. The way the cuts are, the way the colors are, and a lot of women's outfits. Just because again, like you said, the boyfriend's blazer, it's the same thing with the shirt. Like a lot of women would end up wearing like a fitted, like a men's style shirt that was a bit more cut and use it in their office wardrobe.
And you know what? And it looks good.
Absolutely.
That's the
and if you can
beauty
rock it,
of
why
like
not?
everything. Exactly, and that's what all fashion's like all about.
Yeah. And the colors too, right? Like a lot of like you find a lot of guys are doing like the pinks and the purples and the florals. Well, I love the floral prints.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, but we see a lot of that, which again, a few years back you wouldn't see that in a guy's wardrobe. Maybe more than a few years, but just it's picked up quite a lot more. So it's just interesting to see those trends and where they're headed.
Well, because that barrier, right, is like not there anymore. Where like if you're a guy and you wear purple or pink, it makes you like feminine. No, that's really really not the case. I find there are a lot of guys who carry pinks and purples really
very
well,
yeah.
and they look very handsome doing that, and they look very masculine as well doing that, right? So
yeah.
It's just really again goes back to what we've always said. It's your confidence.
And it helps you to like bring out your personality a bit, right? Because if you're just constantly wearing like the darks, like the blues and the blacks and the grays, it really doesn't. I mean, it's such a base color. Like it doesn't really help you to your personality to come out. So as a guy, if you can do that a bit more now and be comfortable in it, a lot of it's just getting comfortable, right? That you can put on a larger print or something a bit more graphic in it. Not obviously nothing that's obnoxious. Like you don't want like a bold thing in your face that's telling you this is my brand.
We're not Kanye West here, please.
No, he wears all that just drapes, like it's just dark colored drapes. That's what he sells, and torn clothes.
Then at some point he had like something weird and with the whatever. I can't follow that guy. Like he just annoys me. Fashion-wise.
I mean, like, there was a while before he went into this weird zone that he's in right now that he had some really cool outfits that he would rock in his shows and pictures and that sort of thing. So there's a lot of his older styles I really liked. There's just a lot of his new stuff where it's all just draped and like he looks like he's out of the Matrix. Like the scene where they look like they're starving when they're eating like the grub. But that's sort of the style he's going with, and it's like Cassius or Mr. Kaizen when we had him on the show. Like he's like something's wrong if that's the market that's selling, like people going out and buying torn clothing versus a proper fitted outfit or something that fits your body and your personality, just because that's what you see a Kanye West wearing.
Well, and that has always gone back to like my point, right? It's like we imitate so much of what we see on social media, we stop thinking.
Right.
And I find that we have to sometimes take a step back and be like, okay, this trends in fashion, that's great, but is it me? Is it who I am? Like even now, even when the whole like Kim K thing came out, like I never got into it. I never got into the whole like contoured like face that looks like you can't open your mouth and the straight hair and the tiny waist and big butt. Like it just wasn't who I am, even though every single girl that I knew
was looking for that or trying to match
and
that.
that's what they were doing. And if they weren't doing that with their like body size, they were like trying to do that with their outfits, with their hair and the makeup. How do you think like Sephora's like sales like soared?
Oh, of course, yeah. Sephora's a massive brand, right?
And
that was one of their main triggers or launching points,
exactly.
where they took off.
But it's also a little bit. It's sometimes it's kind of sad to see that all of us in our late 20s, in our early 30s, especially even like in our 40s, as people who follow blindly what's going on, we don't take a moment to stop and be like, is this me? Does this resonate with who I am as a person, my cycle, my life, my everything, right? So it's just, I don't know. I just don't always appreciate social media for that.
No, of course. But I mean, that's really where a lot of these trends come from, right? Because people see things over and over. It's the same people being posted all the 100%. Time. It's the same, like you said, the same style, like a Kim Kardashian contour look, the thin waist look, like the overly fitted low rider jeans on the guys. Like, like it's just, it's what you're being fed is what people are following afterwards. And then the retailers, to them, it's like, well, what are we going to sell? We're going to sell something different that no one's going to buy. It's going to sit on our rack, or we're going to sell what people are looking for and what's being shown on social media, and actually make money. Like at the end of the day, they're after the dollar too, right?
Well, and I know we're going a bit off topic, off our theme from today, but then this goes back to the whole mass marketing about how retail itself has changed over the past 10, 15 years now, really. From what it was before. Fast fashion always existed, but it wasn't to this extent. Like fashion still had a rule. Like if you saw this purple sweater at a show in Europe in 2017, it became trendy in 2019 here, and that purple sweater trickled down from like all sorts of statuses and levels, but you still had mass market fashioning, right?
Right.
But we don't. But that's where the whole retail itself has changed so much. So it is. I find fashion is still very, very in a very confused state at the moment.
Well, it's gonna be like that. And I think it's gonna continue like that because it's so heavily influencer based, right? It's what the quote unquote Instagram influencer is wearing and what attention that's getting. Because it's almost like that's gonna get more attention than what's going on in the runway now.
But I wonder how long that's gonna last. Like I truly believe at some point that entire Instagram world is gonna come crashing down.
But why and how?
Because so it's just how when we would do when ads were like really big back in the day, when you had like magazine editorials, when you had like TV commercials, like at that point until Instagram came, we got like all our ads were fed from TV, right? But now we all just go on our phones, on our internet, on Instagram. Eventually what goes up comes down. You do hit a point where it cannot it stands still, and someone will get up and be like, this is bullshit. But it changes things. A cycle always has to change.
Sure, the cycle may change, but I don't think that we're going to see this method of getting the word out or how we're looking at a wardrobe or the type of clothes we're looking at is gonna that's not gonna go away. The way it's presented may change because now even advertising dollars, like companies are spending more money on advertising dollars with influencers and Instagram and social media than they are with your standard TV.
I am not saying that social media is gonna crash. I'm not saying that Instagram is gonna shut down, but I am saying that whole influencer marketing aspect will eventually shut down. That will change because now everybody can get up and say that they're an influencer. Who, like, at some point, who are you following? But
then that boils down to metrics, right? Like what is that influencer's metrics and what value are they actually bringing to the retailer or to the product? Like I know there's one a friend of mine, and she is an influencer. She has about 50 or so thousand followers, and she gets flown around to resorts to basically go to reviews, post pictures, all that kind of stuff. And she gets flown for free and gets paid like 10 or 15 grand for whatever that 2 weeks is,
right?
Just because she has a following base. Now, things like that are not going to go away because to me, it's like, well, from an advertiser perspective, you have a direct reach to an audience of a specific mindset. And for a advertiser, it's like, well, how do we get into that mindset or that audience? You're that person who's that quote unquote influencer, and she uses it like a business. So she actually tracks her metrics, and because she has a marketing background, so she tracks all that stuff and shares it before they give her the money.
Right.
And then she goes in and gets the money because her metrics show the value in what she's doing. I'm not saying every person that's in her shoes is as smart about it or knows how to treat it like a business, but that's what she's doing. But the main point behind this is to say that I don't think that this influencer method of the outreach of how we're going to see clothes or wardrobes is going to go away because of just that, because it is an actual advertising channel for companies.
Or no, and you know what, you could be right. That could change to a more advertising type channel. Like even now, just even us, like on a very general everyday basis, we think twice before what we're posting.
Of course.
Versus when Instagram first came out, you didn't care.
Yeah,
you posted your ads. You posted whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
Now it's all about.
I look back at some of my original pictures that I deleted, and I was like, I don't know why I posted that.
Exactly, right? Yeah. And then now it's all about like the right angle and the right hashtags and the timing and like, is this looking candid enough? Am I trying? Like I feel there's so much thought into what we're.
Well,
posting.
everyone's own page has sort of become their own little magazine. If you think about it, right?
It's your brand at the end of the day, right?
It's your own little magazine. Like that's how you want yourself portrayed and what you want to share of who you are. So if you're treating it like that, the pictures and the angles and all that, all that stuff.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. Like it's already evolved so much, right? So but I think we should get back to our original topic and the reason you're dressed like a little flower bush type.
So we're gonna talk or touch on, we're probably a little bit late on this just because it's almost midway through summer, but it is still festival season. It's still growing strong. There's a lot of festivals that are coming up, even in August alone, like Lollapalooza. Osheaga is a big one that's at the end of the month. Toronto, we just had Veld. We just had Caravana. We just had OVO Fest. And I don't mean like just the EDM festivals. I mean, there's festivals of different, Caravana is a whole different style of festival and different way of dressing. You got to style someone really cool for Caravana, which was nice.
Yes, I did.
How was that experience?
It was very, very interesting. It was actually very interesting. There's so much thought that goes into these costumes, and even I didn't realize until I actually got involved in it and putting them on.
Yeah, they're quite intricate. It's not easy.
It's very not easy. You have to have good quality. You have to know how long your strings are.
Yeah. So why don't you break that down a little bit for us and share with us sort of who you dressed, if you're allowed, and who you styled and what the sort of the thought process behind it was.
She's a well-known DJ, especially in the Toronto scene, but also globally. She's well-known. She's like played and opened for some really, really cool people. I got roped into this because of my friend who's a makeup artist, and we've also worked with her on like some of our like other projects. And initially it was just, can you help put her into her costume?
Right.
That was like the initial thing. Like, can you come help put in her costume? And then when I got there, it just seeing it and then seeing like the feathers and the colors. That's how we start, like saying like put like maybe this makeup. And
so sorry, really quickly for those that are listening and not sure the context. Caravana is the Toronto sort of Carnival Caribbean Festival that happens in the city. It's been going on for a number of years.
It's really big here.
A number of name changes. It's now called Toronto Carnival. And literally you get artists from all parts of the world coming over, like Marshall Montano, who's a massive soca artist, performs every year. Sean Paul comes down and performs every year.
He was here recently.
Yeah, a lot of the hip hop artists are here, and they're whether they're hanging out or at parties or cameos and that sort of thing. So it's a massive event in the city of Toronto, and so Rashi got to style one of the bigger DJs that's involved in that whole world.
It was very, very cool.
So when you were saying strings and that sort of stuff, so put some context as to what we're talking about.
Well, because there's so many parts to that whole outfit.
Yeah.
Even just and I really kind of admire how they spend the entire day dancing in them.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like just putting it on.
It's called playing mass.
Mass.
Yeah.
Mass.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still learning that world now.
Yeah. So you got to dress her. Was she performing on a float?
She was part of a parade, and that I think started
the parade goes around the city.
Yeah, but I think that started
But
early.
she is usually on a float. I understand. She usually DJs on one of the floats, if I'm not mistaken.
She wasn't DJing the parade.
Okay, but after parties.
Yeah, but she had some dates afterwards that she was telling me about. And then she also sort of got to understand how my world works when it comes to putting everything, in like
putting an outfit and style together. Yeah.
And stuff that she may want like later on for her like DJ stuff. So in terms of getting to know her, that was really cool. I was still like, oh my god, it's like 4:30 in the morning and I'm on her couch. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, you guys got up really early for that.
It was so worth it.
So that was a big festival in the city. Veld was another big one that happened in our city, and that's like a massive EDM festival. But they had Cardi B was a part of that one too. Kygo was a part of that one. So that's a massive festival here. And then OVO Fest, which is an annual 2-day Drake extravaganza.
And we got to hear it.
We got to hear it outside of the concert, which was nice. We did the cheap thing. We didn't pay for tickets. We just stood outside and listened.
And danced. There you go.
So we had a good time. But with that, I mean, there's different styles of festivals. There's different ways people approach how they style for festivals too. And that's what we wanted to touch on, because there's still a number of festivals that are going on across the world, in North America and different parts of the world too. And we wanted to touch on, I guess, style, what we think is acceptable, but also some of the styles that a lot of times in festivals people dress in manners in which under normal circumstances would be ludicrous, but it's acceptable in a festival. So part of it's like, why does it become acceptable in that scenario? For example, you don't typically see a guy wearing a fanny pack walking down the street. I mean, sometimes you do, and there's a bit more of that in style now, or a man bag. But the fanny pack in particular is 100% acceptable in a festival environment. Yeah. Like why does that make it? I mean, obviously, putting aside the functionality, like there's a
what it is?
There's a clear need for it. I understand that.
I think that what ends up happening during any sort of festival is that you can actually let go. You can dress so casually or so stylishly and be casual and really just not care a bit, because that's the whole point of getting lost in that vibe, in that environment. And I've not met one festival goer all throughout any of the things I've done where they're like the serious, like, oh my god, everybody they just let go and have a great time, and they enjoy, whether it's the music festival, whether it's even if it's an arts festival, no matter what it is, people just get in that zone and they enjoy. So I find that's when you can do these, fanny packs and things like that, and no one's gonna care. In fact, they want to be comfortable.
Yes.
They do not want to carry their entire life around
in their
them.
pockets.
It's like, it's out, it's there, it's done. I'm gonna go have fun. That's really what they want to do.
I mean, it's function. I mean, we're again, the functionality, you can completely understand why, because if stuff sitting in your pockets, it could fall. All that kind of stuff. I understand that.
And it's also acceptable now because they have so many different kinds of cool, fashion-y ones.
Well, that's what I wanted to get at, because I think you can almost go as far as making it a key accessory to the outfit, right? You're wearing like a cool t-shirt, maybe a pair of shorts, and your standout item could be the fanny pack in that scenario. Yeah. Right? Because it adds, if you get something with a little bit of color, a little bit of maybe some print on it, or if you've done something funky with it, then it gives you another way to accessorize your outfit. So that's more what I was trying to get at. And then even on the, with the layering, because now a lot of times some of these festivals, they start early in the morning, they go late at night, the weather changes throughout the day. So a lot of folks, you'll see they're wearing their plaid shirts, but they're tied around their waist. Typically now you don't see that style of fashion just walking down the street. Some people do it, but it's not as common. Right. But in that environment, it's 100% okay, because again, there's a functionality piece to it, and then it becomes an accessory. And then later, obviously in the evening, you have an extra layer if it gets cold or anything like that. Well,
yeah, I mean that's why they do it. But then again, it goes back to the whole, everybody doesn't care that much. They still care, because if you really, really look closely, these guys are still taking time to tie their sweater. They are still taking time to make sure that their prints match, or their colors match, and things like that, right? So, and I also find part of it is for it to go back on, Instagram, or if you have a fashion magazine, walking around, or bloggers, they may say, hey, I really love your outfit. I want to take a
Mm-hmm.
picture and post it on, this blog or this thing. And that's happened in the past too. You also have a lot of random photographers who you don't realize that's who they are, that are walking around and
Taking pictures of the events and the fashion.
or sometimes they even say, hey, you know what, I like your outfit. I'm actually a photographer for so and so person or so and so blog. Can I take your
Take a-
picture?
yeah, photo.
and-
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
thing? So that's again part of the social media life and trend. I personally find that, but yeah, it's all about wanting to end up on Instagram, right?
What are your thoughts on jeans in a festival environment?
I don't know. I don't think I think you'd be uncomfortable. I'm not saying don't wear like denim shorts.
Yeah, so I mean like full length like jeans.
Why would you do that to yourself?
I don't understand it. I've seen it so many times. I just can't understand it.
But again, ask yourself this question: why
Like
would
if you
do
want
it to yourself?
if you want to wear full length pants, I get that. But there's a way to like even if you want to wear jeans, like roll them up or whatever the case, so that they have that sort of like cool
That-
look to
yeah.
it. But there's so many different styles of pants you can wear that don't have to be jeans. Like when you're wearing your fitted jeans and then you're jumping up and down on someone's shoulders, like you look
retarded.
weird. No, we don't use that word. Weird. You look weird.
You know what? Thank you for that visual. Because right now I can just picture a guy topless and like full length jeans.
Yeah,
and
and a shirt tied around his waist.
yeah. Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah.
I will not sleep.
Yeah, that is a nightmare. Right
It
there.
is. It's a fashion nightmare. I have no clue why guys
Like you
do
could
that.
easily wear like like a style of pant that has like even mine that has a bit of a
Well,
thing
like
at the bottom,
joggers.
or joggers, like there's cotton joggers, there's different styles of joggers you can throw
You
on
can
now.
even do
or
the
like
cotton jeans.
Cassandra's pants,
yeah.
like those
Yeah,
capri
yeah,
style,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like, and that's perfect for that environment. But like there's so many different styles you could wear if you don't want to wear the typical short to compensate and make it look like somewhat of a pant.
So instead of doing a jean, but let's say, okay, let's give a margin that there are some guys who are very comfortable with that jeany look. Like they do not know what's outside
Right.
of it, right? And I'm gonna be very nice here. I'm not gonna do a typical Rashi comment about that.
That's boring. Now, should she do typical Rashi or should she be nice? Typical Rashi it is.
What do
Please
you
go.
mean?
Exactly that. Continue. So we're gonna. This is actually gonna be typical Rashi. So we're gonna erase that last statement. She's not gonna do boring Rashi. She's gonna be typical Rashi. Continue.
Okay, so my point is,
Oh, we're gonna take a quick pause before you do that.
okay.
Hey guys, we're taking a quick break just to remind you where you can find our podcast online.
You can find us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Tunes,
Apple Music, or you know it, you call it Apple Tunes.
whatever.
Right. You can also find us on TuneIn, on Google Play, and of course Instagram when we do it the first Tuesday of every month.
And Facebook here and there.
Here and there.
Here and there.
So thanks for tuning in, and now back to our podcast.
All right.
So-
So back from our message. What were you gonna say? But you gotta say it in typical Rashi fashion.
Okay, first of all,
Rashi
guys,
fashion.
stop wearing jeans at festivals. You do not look cool. You look ridiculous, very ridiculous, and you do not even look hot doing it. Even if you have like a six pack, like no, just no. Stop imitating me. If you have no imagination, call us. That's what we're like there for. But then if you really love this whole like jean type look, and like what is wrong with you, there are joggers that give you that vibe, that have that jeany material, that are not sticky. No one cares about your butt, okay, during the festival. It's about being comfortable. You can wear that. That's, I will say, okay too. Not
What?
yes, I will say
Wear
okay
what?
to that. The denim type joggers, because that
Oh,
is
right.
not, it's not sticky, you know what I mean? And it's not a pure denim fabric.
Material. Yeah.
Exactly, right? And it does not stick to their butt. So even if they want to, walk around shirtless and try to be all cool and stuff, which no one really cares, that's a very good option, in my opinion. Just do not climb on any guy's shoulders. Just stop.
Who, women?
No, guys who are wearing those tight jeans and
Yeah. Guys do glide shoulders there too.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
With jeans.
That's the scary part.
Yeah.
And it's like, why would you do that? And then you have this guy who thinks he has a great butt, but he doesn't. In these tight jeans, he's right in front of you, and all you see is like this really saggy, yucky butt, and you're like, why is this in front of me?
And sometimes you can see the butt crack.
I know, it's terrible.
Doesn't that make you happy as a woman? You don't like it?
No, that's like, can I please have more wine?
That's when Rashi runs to the bar. Just come
Exactly.
out. I don't want to deal with this.
I can't see it.
Perfect. So we got typical Rashi, and we're very, very happy about that because that was probably the highlight of the show right there. You just got it.
I'm not that bad, guys. Come on.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, even Nav behind cameras has his reaction.
What? I'm a sweetheart. I am just blunt at times, and I'm
That's for
straightforward.
sure. Yeah.
And I'm just straightforward. There's nothing wrong with being straightforward.
Okay.
It's called, like, get a pair and just be straightforward.
Get a pair.
Yeah, get a pair.
A pair of what? Jeans?
Balls. Rashi balls.
That's weird. So Rashi may or may not have balls. We don't know. So let's continue on with that. What other things do you think are not acceptable from your perspective at a festival?
Do not wear a vest at a festival.
Why? I would 100% wear a vest.
That was a very, very high-pitched why?
Yeah, why? What is wrong with a vest?
Okay, the whole point of a festival is to, again, dress well, for sure, because I do not like men who don't know how to dress. I've
In
made
any
that very
scenario,
clear.
wherever, it doesn't have to be like, but that's in any scenario.
No, I know women who don't care for that stuff, and I personally care for that stuff. I know men who don't care for that stuff. I care for that stuff.
Sure.
But like, you're at a festival, dude. It's like, you just like want to eat, drink, hear music, vibe, like do whatever you want. Why would you wear a vest? It's like, why would a guy wear tight, skinny jeans and show up?
I don't know.
Okay, so that's
I
my
don't know. I
point.
can't answer the question. I'm not the guy.
Okay,
But the
I'm
vest
just
could, like, you could still wear a pair of shorts. You could still wear a nice like outfit and then throw in a vest that accents it and gives it the accessory look. You're not wearing it as a formal, like I'm going to a wedding.
No,
vest.
I know, but again, you know what? That I personally find that if you want to do the whole shorts look, do the shorts, throw in like a really cute tank, and then if you do want to do the layering thing, have a fun like open button shirt tied around your waist.
Sure.
Right?
But
Do
the
that.
same way you can take a formal shirt and make it fun in that outfit, just like you mentioned. I think you can do the same thing with a vest and still make it fun in summary and make it work with a festival environment. Like I'm not talking about like you're not gonna walk in with a black formal vest with like a shawl lapel on it. Like that looks out of place.
Let's make sure that we have like stated that, because there are men who will hear the word vest and we'll see a bunch of them.
Yeah.
happening.
I know there's a couple of vests I know, for example, that I own and that's in my wardrobe that they're not even vests I can wear in a formal environment to a corporate party or a wedding or anything like that. But they are vests that I can throw in with a pair of shorts and still make it funky and have a casual yet like a sleek casual look to it. So I mean, there's certain scenarios I could wear a vest even in a festival environment if it's the right t-shirt and right combo, right?
I don't know. I mean, again, me personally,
Yeah.
I just don't see it. I still see it look very odd, even though I know exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
But for me, it just doesn't like go together.
Yeah.
But again, someone like you, yes, you can carry it off really, really well. So that's like not a issue.
Right.
But I just don't see it. It's like you're like dancing to like Cardi B in your vest. Like what the
We're
hell?
gonna have to find a vest picture that's normal, and then we can put up and be like, this is how it can work, in case you ever want to consider it. And if you really want to try it, please call one of us first, because we'll help you make sure it's the right choice or not.
Yeah.
We may or may not agree on it, but I also I'm not a bit like, to me, one of the things that I would probably not suggest to wear at a festival environment is a polo. Like I just don't think it's the right
No.
place for
Not.
a festival. Like I'm not talking about a concert. A concert's different. You want to wear it, but I'm talking about like a if you're going to an EDM festival, like one of those kind of like an Osheaga or a Burning Man or anything like that. Like the polo's just not
Coachella.
Coachella. Yeah, it's not. To me, it's not a festival
No, it's not.
top to wear, right?
I mean, see, I look at festivals as a opportunity to let your imagination run a bit wild,
Yeah,
while
have fun with
being
it.
very casual. So it's more like have like the fun colors.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like, layer and just not worry about things. It's not about, trying too hard. It's about taking your very key summer points, like your like tanks and shorts and all of that stuff, and just running with them, having fun with it.
See, to me, it's all like it's about it's what you just mentioned one step further, getting away from the normal, getting away from your blue, like your dark blues, your dark blacks, your grays, getting away from your typical what I would wear if I'm just out and about in the summer, and having fun with some of the colors. You can do pattern clashes almost to the nth degree in a festival environment.
Absolutely.
It almost doesn't even have to go to a degree. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just two really bold patterns you could put together that even under a normal pattern clash would probably be weird. But in that environment, you could still get away with it.
Yeah.
Just because it's fun. It's like everyone's in a light environment, a light mood. But you're showing, like, by almost putting those two different patterns together, you're almost having like showing your two different sides of your personality as you're spending your day or partying or whatever the case.
And that is what, having fun at these festivals with fashion is like all
So
about.
much you can do.
Even for guys, like, in fact, like, one of the biggest misconceptions is that only girls go all out and we go crazy and we are in this trend and that trend, and that's actually really not true.
Yeah.
Even men can really have fun with fashion, still look very good, and just have a great time and
enjoy it. Enjoy the outfit and try different things, right? Because that's your environment where you can do that. Sunglasses, I think, are a huge accessory. Like, you can do so much to take your outfit to a different direction just with your sunglasses. Because now, like, you don't have to stick to your aviator Ray-Ban style. Like, you can have some fun with the shape of the sunglasses, like the type of glass that's in there, or like if there's any like accessories on the sunglasses itself. Just because now you can go like you mentioned, you can go a little bit wild with your imagination and do something fun. What are your take on sunglasses in a
have fun with it, especially those like mirrored lenses.
Yeah,
I love those. I think sometimes
it's actually great when you're walking by someone like, okay, I still look good.
Yeah,
because you can see yourself in the mirror.
Like, oh, okay, great. And depending on the guy's like complexion, if he's wearing like these like purple ones or these green ones, and the rest of his outfit
flows. Yeah.
You look good. Like, you actually look very attractive at that moment, and you just never know what could happen.
Hats or no hats?
Always hats.
Always hats.
Always hats. It's a festival. You have to have a hat.
Yeah, and like, it could be like a fun ball cap. It could be like a fun fedora style. It could be like anything.
If you do fedora, though, just make sure it's like light colors. Do not show up with a black one. That's a little bit like weird.
It doesn't have the whole formal look.
Yeah.
There was one of the pictures we're gonna post on our Facebook site has like a whole outfit with a hat, and the hat that we found in that that one is really nice. Like that's so cool for a festival. It's so different. It's facebook.com/elevatedgrapes. You can check that out. It will be there on today's date, which is, what's the date even?
We are the 6th.
August 6th. Yeah. So you can see that. We'll post a couple other pictures of some styles that we saw that we thought were pretty cool for festivals, and some basics, even just like in terms of the tanks, the tees, the types of pants that are okay.
Joggers, the types of shorts that
you want to probably get away with, get in with and work with. Talking about shoes.
Before we go there, I just wanted to also point out for those who are watching, and this we can talk about it. Your look that you have on today, it can technically work as a conservative festival look. Because maybe not a lot of guys are comfortable with mixing matching too many prints. What you have on right now, it's very matchy.
Yes.
It's also very festival light. Yeah. And it's very summerish, and I think it would work.
And I was actually surprised because we were talking about this before we started recording. He was surprised that I got both these items from two different places, two different brands, two different companies altogether. Like, they're not from the same place.
I am aware of that.
Yeah, but Nav didn't know that. He was surprised. He thought I bought this outfit. I'm like, nah, dude, I don't do that. That's not what I do. But yeah, I mean, you could totally rock this T-shirt. Like, I would have some more fun with it than the pants I'm wearing right now. But you could totally rock this T-shirt at a festival and like spruce it up, have some fun with it,
and like wear that hat, and then maybe instead of those joggers, just like again, even for guys who are not yet comfortable, pushing those limits, exactly this with like shorts.
Yeah, 100%.
And just like basic shorts.
Like a funky pair of red shorts, just like.
I was just thinking that.
Just to flow with this.
Yeah.
But then I might not wear this hat. I'd do something else. I'd see. I'm not sure, but I would do red shorts.
Well, the whole point of this look conversation was to work with the matchy outfit, but like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Change of topic now. What are your thoughts on shoes in a festival?
Be comfortable.
Yeah.
But do not look untidy. You know what I mean?
One of the things that you put on there was it wasn't that you showed me earlier. The link will be on our Facebook as well. If you're watching on YouTube, we'll show you this. But there was a boot that you'd sent as one of the
hunter boots.
Not the hunter ones. They're more like They're more like the Dockers.
Yeah. And you asked me why.
What? Like, why?
Because sometimes it rains during festivals.
Sure, but those Doc Martens are not festival rain shoes.
Let's check the exact boot that was there, because there are boots.
So right now, if you're watching, it'll be on the screen.
Yeah, so there are boots that are more geared towards festivals again, because it's kept in mind that what if it's a rainy day? Like, let's say you have planned your outfit, blah blah blah, you have your tickets, all that stuff is done. You wake up and you know it's gonna rain. Are you gonna not go to the festival? No, in fact, it's more fun with the rain sometimes, right?
Sure.
But you have to then it becomes fun when you are dressed the part. So that is when, especially like if it's a festival with grass and like mud and like all those things, that is when, certain boots actually make you feel a lot more comfortable. You can have a much better time, and you still get to look good. Like, there are like raincoats, and there's some really great raincoats out there for guys too.
Yeah.
That are not those heavy ones.
Yeah.
Right. That can like work really, really well, and you just go with the flow.
And it gives it a whole different look.
Different look.
So I do agree. Like, I mean, like the hunters. Like, I've actually seen at festivals like women wearing full out like bathing suits and then hunter boots. Like, it's such a fun.
It's so fun.
Such a fun like combination for that environment. Again, you wouldn't see someone walking down the sidewalk like that, because then you'd think, what the heck? But in that environment, it's so acceptable. But to me, like when you showed me the picture of the basically Doc Martens, and I was I don't understand this. Like I've you could do the whole pair of shorts with like a tannish, or like even like a what's the color I'm thinking about? It's like a tan almost boot. You want to put the plaid and tie it around your waist, and a t-shirt that kind of goes. So I understand that boot, but the Doc Marten was a little bit weird for me.
Well, again, like I was seeing it as it's muddy, rainy.
Yeah.
Grass stains, all of that stuff, and there are many guys who may not appreciate that on their light colored boots, right? Which is why the darker ones become like a much better option. And that way, if they still want to go funky with their like colors, they can. And enjoy that, and then they also dry, and the feet's not wet, and all that. And like, what if they like meet this really hot girl? Are they gonna go do it with like wet, dirty feet? No.
What are they doing with their feet?
Meaning like their feet would be like gross. So
I don't want to know what you do at festivals.
I don't go to
with
festivals. I have no life.
So one of the things that I was at this it was a festival or a day event. Anyways, so I was wearing an outfit, and my friend was like, "I really like your outfit. It's really dope." And I'm like, "Thank you." And she's like, "But what the hell's going on with your shoes?"
Which one was this?
I was at this day event. Anyway, so I had those shoes on, but I was like, and they're a pair of white shoes. They're a little bit older, so that they're a little bit scuffed and that sort of thing. But I'm like, I'm going in an environment where people are gonna be jumping on my feet. They're gonna be walking all over my shoes. It was supposed to actually rain a little bit that day. And I was like, I don't care about these shoes. So they still float the outfit, because they're still like, I wanted a white shoe, but they were just older. And I was like, well, it's functionality that still works my style. They're not that shoe. Like, I wouldn't, if I was just hanging out in a friend's backyard, I would never have worn those. Or if I was like, going like just for drinks in the day, and I knew it was gonna be like more of a calm environment. Yeah. I may still wear this outfit, but I wouldn't wear those shoes. I'd rock a nicer pair of shoes. But in this environment, when I know people are gonna be jumping up and down and going crazy, and the likelihood that people are going to spill stuff on my shoes, there's stepping on my shoes, there's mud, there's rain, there's water, like they're going to get dirtier. I went for that, and she's like, it's still unacceptable, which I didn't agree with. I wanted to get your thoughts on this as a female.
I have to see the whole outfit though. Like, what outfit was this?
I'll have to find. I have a picture. I'm sure I have a picture of it somewhere.
If it's like a recent thing.
It was this summer. Yeah, like I don't. I've actually since thrown the shoes away because they got really trampled on that day. So I was like, I can't even wear them again. So actually, I'm very happy I wore them, because my other normal, good, expensive white shoes, I would have worn them.
It wasn't the Rose picnic outfit.
No. This was not. It was a day cruise party that I went on.
Oh, okay. I think I know which one you're talking about, but I still have to. I do not remember what you wore.
If I can find the picture, we'll post it on this, like on YouTube. If I can't find it, you won't see it. But we'll post it, and then you can see the shoes I'm talking about. I
think I know vaguely what you're talking about, but I do have to see the whole outfit.
They're a pair of older Pumas, which apparently is not a thing anymore. You're not supposed to wear Pumas, I think. I don't know. That's what I was told.
By who?
The same individual. What's wrong with Pumas? Why you gotta hate on Pumas for?
Can this person be like a guest on our podcast?
She actually can. She's in the fashion industry too. I was gonna ask her to be on it. She's a hairstylist.
That'll be like very, very fun.
Yeah, it'll be a fun conversation.
Absolutely.
Because she could tell you about my shoes.
Oh boy.
So the other thing that you can also look at in a festival environment, obviously the backpack is a big thing, because you're carrying stuff around like water and snacks and all that kind of stuff. And sometimes you're even carrying blankets or whatever stuff with you because you're around all day. what are your thoughts on how to make that into an actual accessory to
have it
uplift
match your outfit.
Yeah, like how do you like what would you like if you're wearing a really printed, like are you suggesting to go in with a a funky fun backpack, or like keep your backpack more mellow and like have it more subtle?
If you're doing print on print with like your like top and your bottom, then you can do a solid color backpack, but just have but if you are bold and like you love trying new things in fashion, then do like a solid bold color that would pick up with your outfit, right? So it still goes with the whole thing, and you feel less like, oh my god, I have like my blanket and this and that or whatever it is. It's kind of like, oh, this is like so cool, like someone take my picture type of thing. I mean, again, there is the playground for festivals to go crazy, to go have fun. But at the same time, do not blind us with your poor fashion choices. So do not do 2 prints and a printed backpack.
Right. Because then it becomes too much.
Yeah, or printed like umbrella if you're doing print on print. If you're doing 1 print and you want to have a printed accessory, then you can play with your backpack or the umbrella or like whatever. It doesn't keep one aspect solid.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, it's about knowing that fine balance.
Okay, so let's sort of summarize, and you're gonna build a festival outfit and describe it, and I'm gonna do one too, and see if we think on the same. We're gonna see how we build an outfit if you have to build one for someone. You want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay, so for me, I would do a solid color, brighter tank top. We're talking about a guy. I would do a jogger style short. Jogger material, like what's the material called? Like not even a fleece, but like a lighter cotton fleece blend. Yeah. But that I would make it very like printed and bold. That's where that's where your fun piece.
So hold on. So sorry. So your tank top is solid.
A solid, but a brighter, bold color.
Okay, and then it's a
printed bold.
Printed
okay.
Graphic
pair of shorts, but like that denim, not the denim. Sorry, the fleece cotton blend material. I would throw on a baseball cap, but I would throw it backwards. With a funky pair of sunglasses, you can actually see the sunglasses. And because you're wearing a tank top, I wouldn't do a backpack per se, because it would kind of hide the purpose of the tank.
You do a fanny pack?
But again, like almost to the side or the back. I mean, and also puts a break between your tank top and your shorts, so you can almost use it as like an accessory that way too. And then shoes. See, I'm a little bit torn on shoes. Like I'd want to finish the outfit off with a nice pair of shoes to match it, but knowing where I am, like as long as it just the color doesn't overly clash, I don't really care what the shoes are like, because in that scenario like that, your shoes are going to get ruined anyways. That's my outfit.
I think I'm a bit more out there.
Yeah, so have fun with it. That's what you've been saying the whole time.
I would probably do print on print.
Okay.
I can't really describe the print on print because
Tank top,
it has
t-shirt,
to flow.
Button down, polo,
I could do
sweater.
Not sweater. Hello. Please.
Yeah.
I would probably do either a tank or a tee.
Okay.
Tank or tee. Shorts, because
crew neck or V-neck?
V-neck.
Okay.
V-neck. I would do shorts for the guys. I think.
What kind of shorts?
Okay, not the shorts. Like I do like proper shorts, like hide those like calves, get them a little shapy. Just like from knee down. Like I love seeing a guy's legs during festivals. It's like really good. I would do printed tank or tee, printed shorts as well. I would.
So you're doing print. You're doing print on both.
Yeah, I'm doing print on print, but because I want to have fun with that.
Yeah.
But the only thing I wouldn't do is do too loud or too bright prints. So if my print on top is a bit like smaller, then my shorts as well will have like a smaller print. Like the one thing I'm not comfortable is having a guy, like for example, like your shirt and then like big floral shorts type of thing, right? That's just not. That's a bit too much for me as well.
Yeah.
So I would do a printed tee or a printed tank, printed shorts. I would do a basic button down shirt as a
on top, as your layer,
as my layer, so that even if he does tie it around his waist, it still kind of flows with everything. That color would kind of complement the patterns that he's wearing.
Yeah, so that's your tied together piece.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For shoes, I'm Converse girl, so Converse Vans sneakers. all the time. So and there's so many colors.
Yeah, you
So
can do
many
you can do a
colors.
lot with that too.
So that's the fun part. And then in terms of definitely a sunglass, ideally a cool mirror sunglass. The shape would have to work with his face.
Of course.
Uh,
We can actually let's throw up. There's a couple of interesting.
ones.
Well, no, I found it just about like sunglass rules with shapes of faces. We'll throw that up with the rest
I
of the.
do like men who can carry those bracelets off really nicely, but not overly done, just like a couple. So I would throw in that.
Yeah,
and
I
then
should have mentioned that. 100%. There's have to be some arm accessory.
yeah, and then I would do a backpack.
About with the tank top. Doesn't it hide the shoulder for you though? Because I'm thinking if you have a shoulder like a tank top on, you put on a like unless you're wearing a t-shirt, I understand, but if it's gonna kind of cover the whole purpose. Of that
But
tank.
again, right, it goes to
Oh, you
what
could
the
do
print is, and then
string,
what.
the backpack with the string on it.
Yeah, I can do that one too.
That way, it
You know.
gives the effect of
And
that.
then that way, when he does put on his like shirt, let's say if it's cold in the evening, and this
Yeah.
poor guy wants to put his shirt on, then at least him and his backpack still goes with everything.
He's not that poor. These festivals are not cheap.
You know what I meant by that.
you got to spend a decent amount of coin to get into these places. So I think that covers sort of the topic today. We'll put up a bunch of the pictures on our Facebook page. The ones in between that we said we'd show. If you're on our YouTube and watching on our YouTube channel, we'll show them there.
We'll have to show your outfit, like this picture. We'll have to take and show it.
This one that I'm wearing now?
Yeah, we spoke about this being a conservative look.
Oh yeah, I mean the t-shirt and the hat, not necessarily the pants, because I wouldn't wear these pants to a festival. It's just more because I'm sitting here right now. I was actually gonna wear shorts, and I was like, I could see your leg, and I'm like, that's weird. I'm not gonna wear shorts. So I stopped.
Exactly.
You really want me to show those?
Yes, feet.
My
Feet
Moon
up.
Palace slippers from Mexico. My favorite ones. Okay, yeah. So that's it. Thanks again for tuning in. Again, thank you for those that are subscribing and following. You can do that below. If you're on Spotify or any one of the streaming apps. We're on iHeartRadio now.
Yes, we
That's
are.
a nice little accomplishment for our team. So if you're listening on there, thank you for subscribing. Again, if you have any questions or if there's a topic you'd like us to discuss or a guest you'd like us to have on, we can try to obviously reach out to anybody and hopefully get them on, even if they're in different parts of the world. But yeah, thanks again for joining, and we hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next week. When are we doing our next one?
Well, not next week. It's going to be the following week.
Yeah, so a couple weeks from now.
Exactly.
All right.
Okay.
You have any closing remarks? Because you always have an opinion of some sort.
I have been very well behaved
I don't
in
know
this
what the heck is going on.
in this podcast today.
Yeah.
I've been like super amazing.
Yeah, so this is Rashi's twin. We're going to bring Rashi back next week. We can't tell the difference because they look the same.
Yeah, we're just both like equally hot. Like guys have.
Okay,
huge
this
problem with
conversation.
that.
All right, guys. Thanks again. Talk soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching that podcast or that video. If you like what you hear and you want to hear more of us and see some of our behind the scenes stuff, subscribe below.
Yes, hit that little red button thingy that's over there and hit subscribe and keep following us for a lot more cool fun stuff.
Thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you soon.